Need computer training for a group or office? Contact us today to get a free demo of our training at www.teachucomp.com/enterprise-licensing.
When you create an index for a table, you define a way that the data in the table may be sorted using the fields that are available. Indexing a table is simply a way of organizing the data in the table to allow access to complete query searches and sorting more rapidly. Indexing can help speed up the time that it takes to complete queries and access given a few criteria are met first. First of all, you should only index tables that have a variety of different data types within their fields. Second, indexing is more efficient if the data in your indexed fields give each record a more unique identification, like a primary key field would. Indexing is not usually necessary on fields that have multiple repeating values. Third, you really only need to index fields which are used for criteria in queries. So for example, if you are creating many queries that find records based on phone numbers, you may want to create an index on that field which contains the phone numbers. Assuming your table fields have met these criteria, it can be useful to apply an index to the desired fields to increase the sorting and processing capability of data in queries. Unfortunately, if you apply an index to a table that contains multiple similar data types or has multiple duplicate information in each indexed field, you may actually slow down the speed at which Access updates table information. In these cases, it's actually preferable to not index these fields, as indexing these types of fields will rob you of more time than the time saved by using the indexed fields in the query. Also, Access decides when and if it will choose to use the indexes that you can create. All you can do as the user is simply create the indexes for the table fields. Access will decide when and if to use the indexes when performing a query. Many times, when a query is performed on a table which has very little information, Access will perform a table scan on the table records, looking at all of the data in all of the fields, and then extracting the requested results. However, as you add more and more data to the tables, Access may find that it's easier to index or sort the table by one of the available indexes first, and then extract the requested records. However, it cannot do this if there are no indexes for it to take advantage of. To view the indexes that have been created for a table, simply open up the table in Design View. Next, click the Indexes button that appears in the Show Hide button group on the Design tab of the Table Tools Contextual tab to view the indexes for your selected table in a separate Indexes dialog box. Almost every table will have at least one index, the primary key. The primary key is a type of index. Notice that when you open a table in Datasheet View, it sorts the view by the values in the primary key column by default.
Like what you see? Get a free demo of our training for groups of 5 or more at www.teachucomp.com/enterprise-licensing.